Ordinary water, I dyed it blue just to make it a little easier for everybody to see. But if you go to pour it, you notice it only pours until you reach equilibrium, right? None of the rest of it comes out. This, on the other hand, kind of looks like water. Again, it's normally clear, but I dyed it. This is a little different. If you pour it, it's known as a self-siphoning liquid. Anybody ever seen that before?
No.
Anybody heard of a polymer? This is a polymer. Anybody want to feel it? Try it. Kind of does a magic trick. Rub it in, and it totally disappears.
Not sticky?
Well, I want to.
Not sticky?
Oh, yeah. Is it going to make the piano sticky? I guess I should.
Not really.
Okay.
Just rub it in and it disappears.
It's weird.
You can go back to your seat. So that polymer is what's known as polyox. So if we look at Hosea 11:4, it says, I led them with cords of human kindness, with ties of love. To them I was like one who lifts a little child to the cheek, and I bent down to feed them. So as you rub the polyox on your hands, it seems to disappear. And people might think that the apostles have disappeared as well. But when you wash your hands later, the polyox will magically return. Even though the apostles are dead now, their message still lives on through us. Polyox works because there's long chains in it that bind each part together. So if you look at the left side here, you're going to see something more like water or air, where all the molecules are just kind of floating by themselves. However, the polymer, that green stuff there, it forms into one long chain. That's why it self-siphons. When we start to pour, it starts grabbing everything out behind it. So think about the fact that we're part of the same movement as the apostles, still bringing the same message of hope to the nations. Talk about long chains. You can think of it like long noodle pasta. Each long part ties into the rest, and it lets the polyox pour itself out because each part not only is long, but it clings to each of the next parts. And not only are we bound together with our church and with other believers, but also with those that came before us, which we'll talk about more in today's sermon. Colossians 3:14, and over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity.